the main contractor we have now won't do subcontractors, and that way there was somebody at the beach, one of the fishermen used to go down the beach every morning, so he'd pick up the bins. The rural dumps are just, we need to have cameras there and say, use your council bag and things, because if we actually had the population use the rubbish dumps, I don't know if anybody's been for a drive in the country lately and seen how much smoke's around, but as a fireman, when you go to put them out, it's like, you probably shouldn't have that in there, you know. And in a lot of cases, if we were internationally found out, I think we'd be in a bit of a smack hand for how we actually do it at the moment. And that's why I've been developing a vision for actually how we should do it. It's a local dump is necessary, but it's not just a rubbish dump. It's way advanced. You know, you've got areas for different product. It's a waste bank that you actually store stuff in, and in 50 years' time you could have a city on top of it, pretty much, because it's that good. You know? Yeah.
Any further questions for Bruce? No further questions. Thank you very much, Bruce.
Thank you very much.
We deliberate at the end of the month, and we'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Robert Joblin. G'day, Robert. 7 minutes speaking, 3 minutes for questions. You're being live streamed. No problem to it, no problem. If you need to use the microphone, just do that.
No, this is not my
That's
normal.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, thank you for the chance to address you guys. On the case of the town hall convention centre, I presume a business case has been developed for the town hall, including the true cost of hosting each event. I can't personally see the economics of spending 90 million plus overruns on a new town hall when you take into account the cost of probably what each event is going to cost to run out of that. Masterton is growing fast and with an ageing infrastructure, and I presume the sewage and water infrastructure will need to be expanded. And I've developed 3 small subdivisions within Masterton, and certainly the standard of the infrastructure has been much higher than what a lot of the infrastructure would be in Masterton at present. I submitted to the council in the last 10-year plan that I predicted that Masterton would grow by 30% in the next 10 years, and for 5 years I think through that. I suspect I'm not going to be too far off the mark. I think the biggest problem is keeping up with that infrastructure of the expanding population. And if you want to enhance the central business district, the traffic needs to be reduced on Chapel Street, which is already congested. The new road, I think, from the Waipawa roundabout up the back of the old Cars building and the Ngāwatama Road needs to be built while there's a possibility of it still to be, well, the possibility still exists. I realise that Chapel Street is part of State Highway 2, and it's a central government funded thing, but with 2 MPs in the district, I don't really see why this wouldn't be a great time to apply some pressure. The rates in our house in town here are presently $7,000 per annum, or $135 a week. At this level of rates, I feel money needs to be spent on the must-haves and not the nice-to-haves. If you want Masterton to continue to grow, the council needs to focus on the essential requirements to make this happen. And I think Martin Borough is probably a perfect example of how that didn't happen. Spent a lot of money on a town hall, and now they've had to stop all development. So I think mine's very short.
Good on you, Robert. No, that's fine. Johnson.
Yeah, hi Robert, thanks for that. At the beginning, you quoted a $90 million figure. I just wondered where
Oh, sorry, I understood that was what the cost of it was in the submission that was sent out.
Oh, no, gosh. I'd be holding my heart if it was.
Okay.
No, I just wondered, that's okay. No, in the LTP it's at 42 million.
Okay, cool.
But I just thought you might have done some creative
No.
accounting. Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you very much, Robert. We deliberate at the end of the month and we'll see how we get on. Thanks so much for your submission.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Carol Forrest. Carol gets here, most of you might not know, but Carol, if you read the Facebook page of Tanui Times, Carol is the Tanui Times. So, Carol, 7 minutes.
Good evening.
You know.
Good evening. I'll go quickly through my submission. I'll take it as read. In terms of the town hall, I'm in favour of demolishing it and starting again because I think the build cost is always going to be cheaper. I think in terms of the cost of the town hall, you need to factor into that the economic benefit to Masterton. Every event that comes to Masterton brings people who stay in motels or come over who use our cafes, who shop. I think someone called that foreign currency, and I think we need to incorporate that in the thinking. There is another issue with the town hall, but it may be solvable by really good functions marketing. And that is that the classical music scene, which I'm involved in, has devolved right down to Martinborough, Featherston and Carterton. And there are advantages down there. If you hold a concert on a Sunday afternoon, you will bring people over from Wellington because it's a nice day out. So I'm not completely sure whether the horse has bolted entirely on that or whether that can be resurrected somehow. But I'll leave that on the town hall, that you can read the rest in my submission. I want to turn to the library and the archive particularly. The library outgrew its building a long, long time ago, and they've been doing an amazing job in really, really tightly packed conditions. The library function has changed hugely, so you've got a lot more people in there working in there. And a very leaky basement. While the archive's now in temporary premises, they're far from optimal. And I think if the library is to be done up and extended, the archive should be included in that work. It seems silly to do half of it and then have to build the archive building itself. Yesterday I looked online on digital.org and it said the Wairarapa archive has 24,000 photos online. So that's only the photos that are online. There are heaps more that are not yet online. That's not including all the records, the physical records. So you're looking at an incredibly valuable collection there. Now, I do have a grumble about the archive, and that is that it has never been marketed properly. It hides under the umbrella of the library. I've been involved with the archive for probably 20 years, and in that time I have argued repeatedly that the archive needs its own website, which can point back at the big catalogue, the Civica catalogue that serves the library and the archive. The reason for that is the archive serves a much bigger community than just Masterton. It serves the rest of the Wairarapa, and for people investigating family history, it serves the whole of New Zealand, in fact, internationally. And I see one of the things you're proposing is a charge for longer research work, and I absolutely support that. And particularly if they had a good website, the chances are they'd get more international inquiries and more, more opportunity for visibility. At the moment, the archive catalogue is combined in the big shared database, Civica database that serves all the libraries. And it's very interesting sometimes when I search that items will come up in Parramatta that have no bearing whatever to this community. It is very muddled. For years, I've just taken down a website that the biggest history website that I've had for many years. The biggest search item on that was my listing on Wairarapa Archive. Now that should tell you something that's not good for Masterton, that they have to come via my website to find the archive. So I think it needs, if you look at the National Library, they have all sorts of databases, but you just do one search and it will take you everywhere. And I think it costs $40 to put a domain name, to put a new website up for the domain annual fee. And there's the expertise within the council to do that, but it needs to be looked at as a marketing exercise. It's kind of disappeared from view more recently, completely, I think. There's not so much outreach as used to go on. I think that's probably most of what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carol. Questions for Carol? No questions for Carol? Okay, Carol, thank you very much. And as I say, we deliberate at the end of next month, or we make our decisions at the end of next month. So
Thank you.
thank you for coming. Thank you for coming all the way to Tanui. And okay, folks, we now close today's hearings and reconvene again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Hi. Nice to see you. How you doing?
We'll just do a quick click here for players.
O Master,